Hi everyone, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 5th of March 2020. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I just want to talk about the coronavirus quickly. This is not going to be the end of humanity. If you're interested in astrology, we have something called the Great Conjunction coming up on the 21st of December 2020. And 2021 is when our society really is going to change. But we've got those outer planets already lining up now in 2020. And that's why we're seeing things with the missiles and coronavirus and things like that. Don't panic. Please be reassured that this isn't as bad as people are making it out to be. And just don't panic. Let's have a look at what Thursday the 5th has to say. Oh, and thank you so much for gifting me this deck. You know who I'm speaking to. You know who you are. It's got such lovely energy to it and I absolutely adore it. So let's see what the cards have to say for Thursday. We had that before. We've got the Two of Swords. Two of Swords usually is about being blind. And here, two people are arguing over him and he just can't take it. It's wanting to tune out the negativity by just shutting down and becoming defensive. It's in reverse. You see everything really clearly, especially when it comes to what you've lost and what you want. So it's not going to feel that pleasant in the sense that, okay, I'm seeing things for what they are. So I'm unhappy in my job. I have no love life. Health-wise, things are not good, or whatever it may be. And you see it and you address it and you say, well, what can I still do to be positive? And that positivity then creates more balance. The cups stand up again and you regain the things that you've lost. But it's a very personal message for you today. Really short and sweet and brief. It's really listen to your inner guidance. Use your clarity of vision and the peace of mind and the time that you get today to contemplate the inner, the emotional, the spiritual, the feeling. We don't all sit around all day and say, oh, when I was 7, that feeling. We don't do that. We get on with things, we live our life. But what I find amazing is that the most important decisions we make about life are usually made in a split second, and then we spend years following up on that split second decision. So I am going to leave her. I'm going to run off. He wakes up the next morning and he says, what have I done? This was the love of my life. I've just left her and she was holding this candle for me and there's no way I can go back. So for him or for her, whether you're leaving or you're being left or you're not good in work or you're not achieving what you feel you achieve, you're able to find some balance within yourself. Because Temperance is an angel. She comes in and she supports you with this rainbow energy. The rainbow is grace. Rainbow is magic. It's a symbol to us that there is hope. And yes, the law of attraction works. I do something, it has consequences. Actions have, consequences, results. What you do is going to have an effect. But grace is when the universe and your guardian angel and your inner self, they save you despite the fact that you can't differentiate your knee from your elbow. You're totally lost emotionally. You have no idea. So combined with that angel giving you the grace to say you will find balance, and here we're giving you the balance and we're making you feel good about yourself. And we're doing that by giving you clarity of vision so that you can deal with your feelings rather than hide from them. Because, as they say in the 12 steps, if you don't deal with your feelings, they will deal with you. And what I mean by the split-second decision that we then live for 30 years, you may make a decision about yourself, oh, I'm unlovable, when you're 18 because you go to the prom and your parents have always told you what a beauty you are. You show up at the prom at 18, waiting for the boys to just line up to dance with you, and you're just left standing in the corner. And you're like, ooh, reality is a little bit different than I thought it was. I can see that clearly now. I feel terribly hurt. I thought I was this great beauty, but I've still got me, and I know who I am. And I'm going to, rather than criticize myself and say, oh, you failure, you're not beautiful enough, none of the boys wanted you. Instead, you say, thank you for letting me see what I really am and how the world responds to me. And now let me take care of myself and say, it's all right to have that within you. It's all right not to be perfect. And give yourself a hug and fill up your cup with love and happiness. Let the angel hold out your cup and let her pour this love into it and fill you. And that then gives you a sense. For instance, I may not be the most beautiful person in the room, but I certainly have the most to offer when it comes to love, or when it comes to whatever you're good at, you see? So it's really a day of honing in on your perspective and what you miss and what you feel like you've lost and what you still have and what you honor and what you don't even see. So for instance, I could say I have a talent to speak. And that's true because I'm speaking right now. And that is something that you wouldn't usually say, oh, I'm such a talented speaker. We don't pat ourselves on the back and say, oh, I'm so talented. If something goes wrong, then it's like, oh, it's all my fault. And of course, you don't go, well, this has gone wrong, but I'm really a wonderful person and it's his loss. I mean, great. In hindsight, maybe 2 years later, we can say that. But today, if there is anything negative, don't brush it under the rug, which is going to be your first response. The instant response is to, I don't want to hear it. I'm closing my ears. I'm just going to ignore this is happening. You don't do that. You look at it clearly. So if you have the choice between running away or facing the music, please face the music today, because you'll be in a situation where you see what's lost, what isn't, what you have, how gifted you are, and you're able, at the end of the day, whether you lose something or you gain something extra, you're able to really nurture and love yourself. And that's the most important thing, because you're your best friend, or you ought to be. And if you haven't been your own best friend, if your mother told you that you were never going to amount to anything, and now your mother has passed away, but now as an adult, you still hear your mother's voice, I'm never going to amount to anything, I'm never going to amount to anything. You see that today, and you see that you're carrying on her legacy of putting you down, and you're continuing the abuse by letting that tape play in your head. Make the simple decision, I am not going to play that tape anymore. Get out of my head. I am going to prove to myself, first of all, that I have already amounted to so many things in life, and it wasn't my fault. My mother should have never said that to me. I'm a beautiful person who is not perfect, just like anyone else on this planet. And I am able to love myself and create joy. So if you look within, when you look within today, and when you find a place of gratitude, that's when you're happy here on Thursday the 5th. If you're chasing after people, if you're getting involved in arguments, trying to prove your point that you are right and they are wrong, and you're trying to get people who really don't want to be where you are, and you force your will onto other people, that's going to cause conflict and pain. And the real blessing of the day is that this wonderful temperance angel shows up, and if you're in pain about anything, about one of your characteristics or about someone leaving you or whatever it may be, nurture yourself and say, it's going to be all right. I'm fine. This had to happen for whatever reason. I don't know why or what, but I love myself and I realize that I'm going to be my best friend for the rest of my life. And if you actually do that, you make it visual in your head. Go up to yourself and say, hello, let's be friends. Let's be pinky friends for life. Let's swear to be the best to each other at all times. Then when something goes wrong, you don't immediately say, oh, it's because I wasn't attentive enough and I didn't love him the way you wanted to be loved. You stop blaming yourself and you just realize that he wasn't in a place where he wanted a relationship, and you see it for what it is, and it's not that dire, it's not personal, it's just a part of life. And you're the magical thing today. So don't let yourself be put down by anyone else. Don't let yourself be told that you've got the wrong end of the stick. So don't let other people gaslighting you into thinking that you're mistaken. You are not mistaken. You are very right today. You are in your right mind. You see things clearly. Someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. No. You love yourself too much to do that. And you send out this giant rainbow which blasts any negativity out of your world. This is wonderful. It's a really wonderful season that we're in now of personal transformation and letting go of behaviors that we've all practiced since childhood. It's my fault because I wasn't good enough. We've all heard that lesson, and we've all hopefully been able to transcend it and say, I was a child, I'm doing the best I can now as an adult, and it's all going to work out beautifully. Number-wise, we've got 2 and 5 is 7, and Temperance, I'm going to have to consult my book here. Is the 14th card of the Major Arcana. You see, I've been reading tarot cards for ages, and I don't know all of the Major Arcana cards off by heart, what number they are. So wherever you are, if you're a reader or someone who is starting out in some industry where you need skill, you have your own way of doing things, okay? And if you're not so bothered about every single number in the Major Arcana, the way I am, and you're more interested in looking at the cards and feeling what you get from them and listening to the story they're telling you, then that's the way you work. So that's the way I work, for instance. I'm not so bothered about, like people say, I have done 1,369 readings in the last year. I would never total up something like that. It just doesn't interest me. So we're all different, except that you are different. Don't let anyone tell you that you're wrong today, especially because you're not. You're an angel. You're able to create rainbows, and that should not be taken from you by someone who is negative and who just makes you feel like rubbish. Any negativity, push that out of your life. Be the sunny rainbow angel that you're meant to be today. And if those people come into your life and they are negative, then just say, I am not closing my ears. I'm not putting up with this. You two need to get a divorce and shut up. Hey, if you want to run, I'm not going to chase after you. Go run. Go be happy with someone else. I don't need you. I have the love from the universe, and I'm going to focus on that. So 14 and 5 is 19, and 2 is 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 is about new beginnings and communication. So communicate with yourself to start something new inside, that you realize you're not always wrong. Have a great day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website, gregoryscott.com, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.